Hey everyone, Evan Kirstel with another great discussion, chatting with Russell Rothstein, CEO and founder at PeerSpot. Russ, how are you?
Great, Evan. Great to be with you today.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this, having been in the business of enterprise tech for over 30 years. Came across you guys recently and was really intrigued by what you do. Maybe introduce yourself to start and say a few words about PeerSpot to the audience.
Sure. So about myself, I am the founder and CEO of PeerSpot, and we founded it 10 years ago. I'll just give you my background. Before that, I'm an enterprise software guy. I began my career at Oracle. I've worked at a number of technology companies, have a tech background, did an MBA, don't hold it against me. So I've been in the enterprise B2B marketing space for my entire career. And the concept behind PeerSpot was to recognize that as more and more buying happens online, buyers rely more and more on online resources. More and more of the buying process happens online, and reviews have become now the number one most influential source in how people make buying decisions. We as consumers, we do that, of course, before we're buying anything on Amazon, anything, any movie we watch, anything, we read those reviews first. And that has now happened in the enterprise software space. And it's incredible to see how companies making decisions about cybersecurity or DevOps or IT software or whatever they're buying for their business and how they're using and engaging with PeerSpot reviews. Anyway, so that's how we got to start the company, and really been a wonderful journey so far, and really proud to say that we're now the fastest growing review site in the industry.
That's fantastic. Yeah, I read you have over 80,000 comparisons on of different vendor solutions. So tell us about the journey. The company was called something else at the start, and 10 years is quite a journey in tech. It must have been something to see.
Yeah, and we're just getting started, it feels like. So it's been incredible. So for the first 9 years, we were called IT Central Station, and I
Yes.
bootstrapped the company.
Wow.
I've got a lot of battle scars here to share with you for bootstrapping the company to the size that we got to for the first 9 years. And then we were fortunate a year ago to raise a growth equity round from a top tier investor in San Francisco called the Big Partners, invested $30 million into the company. And so we've been able to grow faster. And then we've, as I mentioned, rebranded as PeerSpot. We've expanded our vision, and now our plan is to build on top of those reviews a true buying intelligence platform. Because really, that's what we see. We see that there's the whole review space is entering a new stage now, and we're proud to be leading that by building out the next generation, which is a buying intelligence platform.
That's fantastic. And I want to dive into the platform. But tell us about your perspective on the change in the sort of B2B sales and marketing landscape over the decades. We're both old. So we have some perspective on that. And when I started in enterprise tech, I mean, you had a very rigid process of RFIs and RFPs and lots of playing golf.
RFQs.
RFQs. And to some degree, we're still stuck in that mode. But what's changed, and what have been the most radical changes in the sort of buyer's journey over the last decade or so?
Yeah, it's incredible to watch how much has changed. And even you talk about 10 years, even in the last 3 years, it's been incredible how much has changed, both on the buyer side as well as how the playbook for doing B2B marketing. It's incredible. And obviously, your live stream and the knowledge you provide is helping people stay up to date with some of those new trends. So the big shift has been, number one, how long buyers go before they interact with the vendor, say sales rep or even the website. It used to be that when people were buying software, businesses were buying software. We're talking about enterprises. That's the world we live in here at PeerSpot, medium to large size enterprises. that before a buyer in a medium or large site enterprise, they very early on used to ask for, contact all the vendors and ask for a demo and sort of learn a lot through vendor content. That's changed. Just throw out that playbook completely. And the earlier Forrester came out a number of years ago saying 70% of the buying process happens online before a buyer interacts with the seller. And Bain came out with the latest research, which is post-COVID, and that's just accelerated. And now it's close to 90% of the buying process happens before they interact with the vendor salesperson or through the website of the vendor. And people are just not interested in hearing a sales pitch. That what they want to do is go online and find reliable third-party content. And there's no better content than review content in that regard, but they're certainly looking online as part of the process. So that's the first step, is just how much of that buying process happens before they engage with a sales rep. And then number two is just the scale of that. It used to be, again, not very long ago, that companies would maybe purchase, make a purchase of Zoom or Slack online, right? You go online, read some reviews,
get out the credit card, company credit card.
Exactly, exactly. This is research I saw last week from McKinsey. Companies are now spending $500,000 on software, making a $500,000 purchase on software completely online, online, without even going to a trade show to visit a booth, without having a visit from a salesperson, completely
no golf
online.
outings.
Without the golf outings.
No expensive dinners. Yes. We're in trouble now.
Now some of those are still happening. Yeah, again, there is still a place for some of the traditional aspects. There's still a place for analysts. There's still a place for the traditional consultants. There's still a place for the tech media, the traditional tech media. But what's clear is what blows it away is reviews and peer content. And that's by far the number one resource online that people use in that buying process.
Fantastic. You talk a lot about voice of the customer, and people have different definitions of that. Traditionally, customers haven't had much of a voice in enterprise tech. So what do you mean by voice of the customer?
Yeah, voice as a customer is a term that in the marketing world has been used for many years. And it's about hearing what customers say. And in a market, there's really two functions you can get from that. One is from a product perspective. You want to understand what your customers are saying about your product in order to make improvements to your product, so that you're not just building out features from a theoretical perspective, but basically ground on what your customers think. And then from a marketing perspective, we've always said the best sales tool you've got is a happy customer. Every industry always says that the best sales tool you have is a happy customer. And in essence, that's what voice of customer can be best used at. So traditionally, it's been used more for case studies, traditional case studies, right? A lot of marketing departments have spent many years creating these traditional case studies, which are either PDFs or they're like sort of video testimonials, polished video testimonials. And what people are learning is that once your logo appears as, this voice of customer content, this case study about our product was written by us, was produced by us, was created by us, or this video of a customer talking about our product was produced by us, you lose all the credibility. So we're really entering an age of independent voice of customer. It's not just voice of customer. From a marketing perspective, if you're slapping your logo front and center on the voice of customer, you've defeated the whole purpose, because you've lost the trust of those buyers. So marketers are really starting to understand that the most powerful voice of customer is that independent or third-party voice of customer.
That's a fantastic lesson. What about your lesson as a founder, as an entrepreneur, was really intrigued by something you wrote on LinkedIn the other day about your journey from zero to where you are now, and not taking easy money, I guess, in the form of VC. What's that been like? That's not the traditional route.
Yeah, it's been an exciting journey. So we started PeerSpot now a little over 10 years ago. We celebrated our 10-year anniversary this
Congratulations.
summer.
Awesome.
Thank you. We had a nice blowout party and really celebrated really. It was moving last week. Celebrated the 10-year anniversary of one of our employees who's been with us since our early days. It's amazing to have 10-year employees and 8 and
Fantastic.
6-year employees here in the company. So those first 9 years we bootstrapped, and bootstrapping is something that you lose hairs, your hairs turn gray. It definitely is something that is, I don't know if I'd recommend it, but actually I would recommend it. And the reason why I recommend it is because it really focuses you on understanding, building a company, building a product that delivers value to customers, whatever industry, whether the marketing, tech, cyber, SaaS, that doesn't matter. The longer you can go to bootstrap your company, you're going to build a leaner, meaner machine that's really focused on value. And as a result, we've developed here at PeerSpot, we do what's called an NPS survey every quarter. That's a Net Promoter Score survey, which is a measure of customer satisfaction, industry standard. And we get consistently in the 60s and often in the 70s NPS score, which is world-class, puts it at the level of Starbucks and Apple in terms of customer satisfaction with our platform and our company. And I attribute that because we spent a lot of time in those early years focusing on delivering value to customers. And in those early years, our competitors, the other review sites, were spending a lot of their time and money promoting themselves and raising a lot of venture capital and creating a lot of hype in the market. But we've come out of this with the best reviews in the market, the best NPS scores, customer satisfaction, and the fastest growing review platform in the market. So it's definitely paid off over the long term. We were then fortunate in Q4. I raised a growth equity round, a $30 million growth equity round from a top tier fund in San Francisco. And that was the next step in our journey as we continue to grow the company.
Fantastic. And we're looking at the site here, beautiful site, by the way. What, out of curiosity, what's the issue with fake reviews? You talk a lot about that, and the whole review industry is plagued with fake bots and fake reviews. How do you know you're not getting fake reviews, and what's happening with some of your peers out there?
Yeah, I mean, I prefer more to talk about us rather than bash competitors. But really, what I think this is something we can all relate to, because we all go onto Amazon to buy products, and we see the reviews there, or Yelp, and it's clear that many of the reviews on those platforms are paid for, are not real, are gamed. And when we started PeerSpot, we made a conscious decision that we want a site that's going to be trusted, reliable, and the authority on enterprise technology. We believe that a great review site will replace Gartner as the most influential source in how people make buying decisions. Wow. And in order to do that, you've got to have high trust, high quality content. So we baked in from day one our process and also our review collection methodology that keeps out fake reviews. Our review collection motion is primarily through phone calls. So what we do is we're talking every day with hundreds and thousands of technology users and collecting their opinions.
Wow,
and we
phone calls. You
validate.
mean it's not just a tweet about how much I
It's
love
not just a tweet, and
XYZ?
it's not just a tweet, and it's not just posting here, get a $10 gift card to go
Right.
in and to type 2 sentences on a
Oh, it's
review
the worst.
site
The worst.
in
Yeah.
order to get your gift card. What we do is we talk to people, because ultimately that's what's most reliable, is you talk to people, and first of all, you validate for sure who they are and what products they're using and how they're using it. And you get much more in-depth quality content. So we don't aim to have the billions of reviews that other review sites might talk about. And this is something when we initially founded the company, a CIO told me this. He said, Russell, I'll take one great review over 100 questionable reviews.
Wow.
And that's been our guiding light. Let's have the best reviews, and you only want to read a few reviews, but if they're high quality, that will help you more than anything else. Just like when you go and you talk to someone, talking to one person can make such a difference in terms of helping you decide what product you want to buy. And we want to replicate that with our platform.
Interesting. And what's the incentive for the reviewer to spend the time and effort to review the product or service? I mean, I talk to a lot of CIOs who follow and engage me on social media, and the benefit of being on social media is visibility and attention and feedback. And but what's the incentive for the platform?
Yeah, there are a few drivers. The majority of PeerSpot reviewers are members of PeerSpot. So we have 680,000 registered members, first-party members of our platform. These are people who have opted in, become a member of the PeerSpot community. And these are people who have benefited. They don't pay to get access to these research reports or reviews. It's a complimentary service, and they give to get, So after they've registered, become a member, they get called by a PeerSpot analyst, who then asks them if they would be so kind as to share their opinions of the products they use with the community. And our response rate is about 20%, which is excellent, right? I mean, try in any SDR and see if they can get a 20% close rate on a call. So about 20% of our community, when they call them up, they will agree to provide one or more reviews.
The power of community, absolutely,
exactly, and that just that creates a flywheel. So that generates more reviews, and then reviews bring more members to the community, and so that's self-reinforcing. We do have as well, there are companies that want to have more reviews on PeerSpot, listed on PeerSpot, because for whatever reason, they don't have a strong showing on the platform. In those cases, they will run a review subscription with PeerSpot. And in return for that, we will collect reviews, interview their customers, and collect reviews for them. So those are people who are not necessarily starting off as PeerSpot members, but many of them then opt in to be PeerSpot members as well. So the first is give to get. I mean, that's the most powerful thing, especially in today, right? Today, in a world where people are skeptical of institutions and leaders and experts and all that, it's like, if you see a community, it gives you value. There's no fake reviews in there. People say, yeah, I want to be part of that. And I'm happy to contribute 10, 15 minutes of my time to provide a review back to the community. It's very powerful.
Yeah, it's very powerful indeed. And community, when done right, is such a powerful thing. What's next in your mission or vision in terms of community building? I mean, do you see things like social? Do you see things like video or drop-in audio or other kinds of collaboration on the site? Or what's any ideas into your future in terms of the evolution of the site?
Yeah. All of those are certainly key components, but what we've seen is that there's an evolution going on right now where review sites, we launched, like I said, 10 years ago. Two other review sites in the industry also launched around that time. And so this is now an established market. Companies, technology companies who are making purchases, specifically go to review sites as part of their buying process. Software companies have marketing budget allocated towards utilizing the power and the leads that come out of these review platforms. So it's an established market. What we see is even as it's established market, there's still a huge opportunity in terms of providing more value to the buyers and more value to the technology vendors. Because today, with review sites, a buyer will come, read some reviews, and then move on. But what they're really looking for, and this goes back to the beginning of our conversation, you talked about all the RFPs and RFIs and consultants and resellers and everything. There's a whole ecosystem of factors when you're making a buying decision. And our mission is to be that ecosystem online, so that on PeerSpot, the PeerSpot buying intelligence platform, you not only get the best reviews in the industry, you get the best buyer's guides in the industry. You get a community where you can ask and get answers to your questions in a matter of hours, but also you can get demos, you can get compare notes in terms of price quotes and licensing with your peers, and to do that in a protected, private way. So we've already rolled out a number of very exciting features in our buying intelligence platform. And in 2023, we have a number of new features that we will be rolling out as well, because that's where the market's going, from standalone review sites to a true buying intelligence platform.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I mean, I'm a sort of professional consumer of sorts in my buying of tech, and I love going to YouTube and watching, unboxing videos and explainers and that there's no real, methodology to navigating through those videos. There's no validation.
It's all over the agreed. It's all over the place, Evan. You have to be now an expert to know where to go, and also you have to be able to quickly discern. Well, what did the vendor pay? Was that a sponsored unboxing video? How do you know?
Mostly are, yes.
Right? Mostly are, exactly. So we here at PeerSpot are, transparency is a core value of ours, and we intend to be that platform where you can get all of your buying needs online with a trusted PeerSpot brand on top of it.
Fantastic. Well, it's so exciting, and I'll be signing up, and for my tiny budget, I'll be looking at some reviews. I guess in looking at your bio, I was really intrigued by a few things in your professional journey, but also you spent some time here in Massachusetts.
I did.
Well,
I lived in Cambridge, Harvard Square, and Central Square for 9 years.
Well, 9 years indeed. So you got an undergrad at Harvard, you went to MIT for your master's, and then MIT Sloan for your business school. Why such a low achiever? Did you not want to shoot a bit higher with your educational?
I couldn't be a Jewish doctor, so it was the second best thing.
Okay, well, I'm sure your mother is proud, and all your clients are very proud of what you built here. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Onwards and upwards. And I look forward to, catching up soon.
Thank you, Evan. Really, it's great to talk to you.
Yeah, likewise. Have a great week.